NC State football has been absolutely cooking in the transfer portal. We have a lot of offensive weapons added into the fray. Why not have a little bit of a conversation with one of them, coming up with new tight end Justin Joly?
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs, and our special guest of our Monday live show, new transfer tight end joining us from UConn, Justin Joly. Justin, thank you for hanging out with us this Monday night.
Of course, man. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely. This Monday live show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/lockedon and use code LOCKEDON for a first deposit match up to $100. Daily fantasy sports made easy. So, Justin, you've committed to NC State just last week. You've, I'm sure, seen all the other commitments that NC State has been landing around you, both before you and a humongous day for the program today as well. But focusing on Justin Joly here, you're joining us from UConn, where you spent the last 2 seasons. You're going to be a January enrollee. You're going to get down, get your feet in the dirt, and get after it. But ultimately, what led you to choose NC State as your next home?
So after talking to Coach Anai and obviously Coach D, they had a great game plan, and Coach and I showed me what he's done at Syracuse and Virginia with his other flex Ys, and it's something I can do and I believe in for sure. And just the culture and the community around of NC State is amazing.
You know, somebody in the comments dropped something about you loving women's basketball, and you know, you left a women's basketball program that looks to be on decline for one that appears to be on the rise here in Raleigh. But on a more serious note here, in terms of, you know, the things that you're going to bring to this team here, what is it that you looked at in terms of seeing the things that Coach and I had done with his Ys and flexes in the past that you said, I can do that? This is my thing. Is it more of the possession, kind of sit down in holes and, you know, snag the tough balls, or is it more so getting vertical, or is it the blocking aspect? What is it that you say, when I leave, Justin Joly will be known for this?
So I feel like it's like probably the catches. So Coach and I, he showed me that he can put anybody anywhere on the field. And with that, I was like, you know, it doesn't matter what side. Like, you know how many weapons we have. We have Casey, of course. We have Dakari Collins. So it's like, and we just got our QB and a couple running backs. So to see that and know that we have offensive weapons all over the field, it's amazing. But for me personally, I feel like I'm gonna be known for catches and the run after catch, because I like the ball in my hand sometimes, and you know, I'm good with it after.
A couple running backs, you say? We only have one running back commit today. I wonder what that could mean, but that's neither here nor there. In all seriousness, another part of your game that is, you know, another part of your game that we saw last year, right? NC State is going to be playing Tennessee next year, okay? And you had your second biggest game of last season against Tennessee with 8 receptions for 89 yards. Are you excited to play on more big stages like that and more moments like that that are going to be nationally broadcast? Is that part of why you kind of wanted to be a part of Wolfpack, to be in those big games, those big moments and big stages?
I know the Wolfpack Nation, they get a lot more viewers, but overall it's like, yeah, you know, play on a bigger stage for sure, you know, and compete against the best. Obviously, you know, I played Tennessee last year, but that's probably one of my staple games, one I'm looking forward to on the calendar for sure. And definitely because they're a great team. They got great coaches over there. But I'm coming at them with a different team, and you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. You mentioned Grayson McCall that also committed to the Wolfpack, I believe just the day before you did. What are some of the early conversations you've had with Grayson McCall and the excitement behind this offense we're looking at in 2024?
So I had talked to Grayson Sunday after I arrived back home from my visit, and I was like, "Yo, like, what's the word? What you finna do?" He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit you back in 2 days." He hit me back. He hit me back, and I seen he committed. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna give it some time, let him get his fame energy." And he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go with him." I see what he did with Isaiah Likely, who's in the NFL on the Ravens right now. So I feel like I'd be one of his favorite targets.
That actually led me right into my next question. So one of Grayson McCall's biggest targets at his time at Coastal Carolina was Isaiah Likely. Do you see yourself kind of fitting into that next favorite target potentially for McCall here in Raleigh?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. We're getting here at the same time, so he's gonna build a connection with the whole offense between KC, Dakar, and the running backs, of course. And I feel like it's something that we could do, because if he likes someone to his tight ends, I'm a tight end, and if you want to throw the ball my way, I promise you I'm gonna catch it.
Okay, so a quick off the field question here, right? Because NC State is in the Pop-Tart Bowl, and Grayson and I had a conversation about this, which we vehemently disagreed with one another on our favorite flavors here. Justin, what is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart? Well, what are we looking at? And also, this is a two-parter: toasted or untoasted on the back
end? Untoasted for sure. Untoasted.
My man.
That's my guy right there.
I love to hear that. Love to hear that. Toasted, you just big ingredient, okay? You just big ingredient if you toast your Pop-Tart. But what's your favorite flavor?
So I've had one flavor I seen like in a deli when I was a young buck, and it was chocolate, and I've been hooked to chocolate ever since. So chocolate Pop-Tart for sure. It gets you right.
Grayson got a little bit of vindication here, because I'm a brown sugar guy. I'm a brown sugar cinnamon guy, and Grayson is a chocolate guy, which is a little ironic, but that's neither here nor there.
I promise you we ain't playing this. I promise you we did it.
I feel like it was. I feel like there was a little bit of a setup, you know what I mean? And let me tell y'all something about Mr. Joly. This is an extremely respectful young man. He kept calling Grayson Mr. Boone, and we were like, wait a minute, are we old now? Are we? I feel like they got on the phone and made this happen. But one more question about off the field, and then we're going to get kind of more towards the connections and all that after the break. But let me ask you this. In terms of the different things around Raleigh, right? In terms of the different things and sites and all that you saw during your visit, was there anything that impressed you? And it can be some on campus, it can be the field, the facilities, anything. Is there anything that impressed you that made you say, all right, this is a place I can be for the next few years?
Just like how everything wasn't too far away from campus, and just enjoying like that moment. Like I personally, I stay in an amazing hotel. I feel like that's for all official visits, but like that area in itself, I caught myself just walking outside and just looking and seeing just like amazing cars. Like I seen a Corvette C7. That's a dream car. That's later in life. Yeah. Like when I settle down and stuff, chill. But like being able to see that and be like, okay, people get a good amount of paper here. So,
I'll tell you, I stayed at the Renaissance in North Hills for my visit. I'm going to tell you what, if you were over there, you absolutely saw some nice cars. I stay right down North Hills, and I can tell you right now, okay, I had a new Honda Accord thinking I had some money. I saw everybody else's car. I said, oh, am I poor? I'm the poor one. Oh, God, this is unfortunate. But anywho, Grayson, we got to pay some bills real quick. And then after that, we're going to get into, again, the personal connections, guys, that you chatted with, because we know you were on the phone with more than Grayson. We ain't going to ask for all the trade secrets. We just going to delve into it a little bit.
Of course.
Quick ad read before we continue with Justin Joly here. Our first sponsor of this live show is eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. That's what brings home the winning trophy. But it's also what keeps your ride or die alive, possibly a Corvette, like Justin mentioned. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers to roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay's Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. That's because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber and not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Continuing our conversation here with UConn transfer tight end Justin Joly. Justin, I want to kind of piggyback off of the last question that Kenton asked there. On your official visit here to Raleigh, you're seeing the facilities, you're meeting the coaches, maybe bumping into some current players on the team, seeing all the accolades in the Murphy Center. Talk about what exactly was the moment that you knew that NC State was the place for you?
I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I've said it all over social media, but when I got there, they showed me a lot of love. They made me feel like I was on the team already when I obviously wasn't, but like they were like, "Hey man, we're not gonna try to peer pressure you." I know, because on my visit, three out of the 4 guys committed, and I was the 4th one. I was just like, I'm sorry guys. I was like, but coaches made me feel good from the strength and conditioning staff, the academic staff, and our regular coaches, and the defensive coaches too. Talk a little smack with them. Just trying to mess with them. But they made it feel like a home away from home.
Now,
so let me ask. Oh, go ahead, Grace.
I was going to talk about Coach Thunder just for a second, the strength and conditioning. Now, you're a former wide receiver transitioning still into like a bigger, more athletic tight end role. Did Coach Thunder kind of give you a blueprint for the things he's going to have you do once you get into the program here?
So when I saw Coach Thunder, I was wearing shorts, and he was like, "Hey man, you got some big legs." I was like, "Yeah." Not like that.
No, I'm playing.
Like he said like I have some pretty big calves, because I have like a wide receiver build, but they're gonna build my chest. They're gonna build everything around me. They're gonna continue on what Coach King did for me at UConn.
Okay.
And Coach Bonham and stuff. So it's he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna build you up top more. We're gonna define your legs more. So they're gonna get me right."
For sure.
So you talk about the connections and kind of how you felt at home and all that. Well, let's talk about how at home you feel in the tight end room in particular. Going into the bowl game, the only tight ends that are technically still on the roster, even though we're looking at Penix entering the draft. Juice Vereen is the guy that everybody's looking at and saying, "Hey, he's going to be the big time guy. He's going to be a big time tight end going forward." Have you and him chatted at all? And how's that conversation going in terms of like, just building that relationship a little bit?
So when I was at their practice and I wasn't sitting on the side, but I was on the sideline just like looking at plays and like just trying to understand the offense where I'm going to get into. And I was talking to Juice and I was like, "Hey, we could really do something crazy over here." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Yeah, no, we for sure could. He's down to earth for sure. I love his game. He's athletic. And I seen him do some things. I was like, maybe I'll give him a tip or two. Like I'm not that much older than him. I'm pretty sure I'm like a year older than him. But it's like, hey, iron sharpens iron. So that's how we gonna rock in that room for sure." And I got to actually, if Trent watches this, so he commented on my commitment post that he wants to see me again in basketball because he got scraped by me and Coach Locklear earlier on my official. So Trent, if you see this, just know I want another game. Like let you down again. Me and Coach Locklear versus whoever you got.
Oh my God, it's so crazy hearing you call Gavin Coach Locklear. I played with that guy. Maybe we are old. Maybe that is what's happening here. But let me ask you this: back to the on the field stuff. What tight end do you model your game after? What tight end do you say like, "Hey, this is a guy that I watch how he does things, watch how he moves, watch how he high points the ball, watch how he finishes his runs after he gets the ball in his hands"? What player do you attempt to emulate?
So obviously,
or play yours, of course.
What players? But honestly, I want to be like myself for sure. But like a young Kyle Pitts while he's back at Florida, because that man was just insane all over the field. He could do everything that you needed to do. But I like to think I can create something new, be my own guy. There's a lot of great players out there, but there's only one me, and I just want to be myself.
Absolutely.
Now, growing up in New York, you said you're originally from Brooklyn, despite what the information page says on the UConn roster. What are some of the teams you grew up watching? Some of the players you grew up watching, whether that be the Jets or Giants, or maybe some college teams up in that area, maybe a Syracuse.
So when I was younger, I got to work out with Saquon one time. That was a different experience. So I watched the Giants a lot. The Jets. I've been to the Jets stadium before inside. Checked out the locker room. Played there my sophomore year in high school. And so it's like I've been around. The only team that I haven't been caught up with was the Bills, but we've had a couple UConn players, go over to the Bills. So it's like something to look out for. So New York State in general, the whole thing. I've just been watching.
No, you were listed as the number 1 tight end in the transfer portal, number 25 player overall. Do you ever look at those rankings and kind of use it as motivation in terms of like, I want to be higher or like, I feel like I'm appropriately rated. I got to earn my spot here every day? Or what does that look like for you? Is that like, hey, it don't matter to me. I'm just playing the best I can, doing all I can to get my team wins. And wherever y'all rank me. I'm just going to show up and work.
Yeah, piggyback off of what you said. Rankings really don't matter. I didn't have any stars until I came to UConn, and they gave me the average, just like FBF's 2 stars. So I wasn't really worried about rankings. I just wanted to show like what I could do on the field, because obviously what I can do on the field doesn't really like correlate to the stars that I've been given.
Right. Okay. And in terms of I've had a lot of people ask this, so we're gonna get into it because I done had too many people ask this question, and we just had another one pop up. Have you had cookout yet? Justin?
I have had cookout.
What was the order? Tell us the order. Tell us the Justin Joly trade. Talk to me.
Okay, so I had a bacon cheese fries. I had a double stack burger with bacon on it, and then I got a large salted caramel milkshake. So,
sir. Yes,
he got that young stomach. He got that young stomach to do the double and the milkshake. Oh boy, I'll be crying and throwing up at that point in time. I'm fighting demons to get through that one. But
I had the itis right after it, man. I went straight to sleep.
Nice.
I understand.
Kenton and I had kind of joked about cookout being a potential sales pitch to some of the recruits from up north that have never seen a cookout. I mean, you talk about some fine dining down here in the South, but speaking on food, have you had North Carolina barbecue yet? Was that something to maybe draw you into NC State?
I actually haven't had North Carolina barbecue yet.
All
so
right.
I'm going to have to be introduced.
Let us set you up with the spot. Kenton, what you got for him?
Hey, listen. Don't y'all go hate me for this one. And I hate that y'all put me on the spot like this. North Carolina barbecue is not my favorite thing in the world. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. The only place that I really love all that much is Old Time Barbecue, but we'll talk about that later. They right by campus too, so Old Time Barbecue is a place you need to hit. But that's neither here nor there. Now, Justin, in terms of the player that you are, in terms of what you see next season, what does success look like next season for you as an individual and for team goals? What does that look like?
For team goals, obviously, going undefeated and taking the ACC championship, going all the way, going national championship game. And individually, like I'm not like I'm worried about my stats, like who I'm going against or who like exactly who's on the leaderboard. But for my position, I know they have me rated as a tight end, so I'm going for that Mackey, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. I'm gonna tell you something now. Peyton Wilson, he laid down the ground floor of like, if you want to win awards at NC State, that man swept everything a linebacker could possibly win, except one award that we're not going to talk about today because we're still disappointed in that voting committee. But it's all right. That's neither here nor there. So you heard it here first, folks. A successful season to Justin Joly. The man is a winner. He wants to go undefeated. He wants to be in that playoff, and he wants to get himself a natty here at NC State and win a Mackey. Now, going forward from there, right, in terms of what goes into doing all those things and building the player that you want to be and the team that you want to be, what do you personally feel like is the biggest thing that you want to work on in your game to say like, hey, this is what's going to put me over the top. This is what's going to make me the best tight end I can be because I'm good now, but getting 1% better at this thing every day is where I really need to grow.
So I would say my hand placement for sure, because blocking is always something I can always improve on, hands, footwork, getting off the ball on routes, top end of the routes, breaking down. Honestly, there's no point in my game where it's perfection, and I can say that humbly as a player, I can get better at everything.
Right. All right, and last question for me as far as on the field stuff, okay? Which one do you prefer, okay? Now, I don't know if y'all use new terminology, but back in my day, we used to call it mossing somebody. Would you rather prefer to moss a defender or get a pancake block? Which one would you prefer?
Okay, so I'm going to put two scenarios here. So it's either a moss for a touchdown or a pancake block for a touchdown.
Oh, that's fair.
And,
either way, don't matter. Just somebody getting in the end zone.
Yeah, someone getting in the end zone. Okay. So I'm not selfish. I block for a couple of my teammates for them to get some touchdowns. So, I'll take a pancake block. You know, I might be in the background of his photo, but just know I'm gonna be standing over him.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Unselfish. And, you know, talking about developmental wise and getting to where you are now, what's a message that rising junior Justin would tell incoming freshman Justin? What are the most important lessons you've learned in 2 years of college football?
You know, when that opportunity comes, take it. Do what you can with it. Keep it. Hold it. Execute everything you have to do. Stay in your playbook. Always keep your grades up. And just be the best that you can be. Give 110% on the field every time.
Got you. And then last one here, a little bit of a tie-in. Your head coach at UConn was Jim Mora, and he's been coaching football for a long time. He's been around the NFL for a long time. What are some of the most important lessons or maybe bits of information you'll take, you know, moving on from Coach Mora? What are some lessons you learned from him that you'll bring with you to Raleigh?
You know, the culture, you know, always be a team. Coach Mora preached that being with the team and staying together is something that we always have to do, no matter what. Between the ups and downs, like obviously we didn't have the season that we wanted, but he preached that. He preached accountability, reliability. You know, being that person when your team needs you, saying that you can have your teammates back all the time. And Coach Mora told me a lot, and I appreciate him so much for that.
Great answer. Actually, and I have a two birds, one stone question here. Kenton, as someone who's played under Coach Dorn and played in this NC State program, what's something that you could tell Justin on what to expect at playing at NC State?
You know, I'll just say this. The championships aren't here because of a lack of desire. And that's just the reality. This is a program that everybody is fully invested in winning every game. Everybody is going to be rowing the boat in the same direction. And Coach Dorn allows for individuality and for you to be you and all that good stuff, just as long as everybody's pulling in the same direction. So, you know, this team is going to be behind you and going to be next to you. This city is going to be behind you, going to be next to you. Embrace the team, embrace the city. They'll all embrace you back. And that's pretty much all I got for you.
I appreciate that, man. I'm going to take that into consideration going into January.
Absolutely. As a Northerner myself that came down here, I can tell you more than anybody else, embrace the culture in Raleigh. It's a great place. Embrace the culture at NC State. It's one of, you know, you're a Brooklyn guy, I'm a Detroiter. We know hard work. We know hands in the dirt type of deal. And so, you know, that's what NC State is. That's what NC State is. And just hearing you say that you're a guy who would love to get a pancake block, that's my type of tight end right there. You know what I mean? My lines are being coached by Dan Campbell right now. It's a great thing. So maybe we could get more blocking tight ends to mean good things for all my teams as well.
Of course.
And Justin, before we get you out of here, we're going to open it up to some fan questions. We've already had quite a few of them roll in. If you're listening to this and you haven't asked a question yet, jump in that chat. Let me see it. And if you're selected, you'll get asked to Justin here. First one here comes from Dennis Holshoe. Says, welcome to the Wolfpack. What are your thoughts on all the weapons coming into the program? And do you think, as I do, that this team has the potential to be an offense that put up points?
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of Army Swift Snipes. We have players that can catch the ball, you know, throw the ball if need be, get in the backfield. So it's like you can't just key out one player on the offense. It's a bunch of players you got to watch out for. So if you bracket one side, I promise you the other one's going to be open. Or if you try to play 4 deep, I don't know, like something like that. We could run the ball too because we just got some O-linemen too in the portal. So it's like this whole offense is just a big threat.
Absolutely. From Fred Stewart here, how do you like your steak cooked, Justin?
Medium well. Medium well.
That's a good answer right there. That's my guy.
I'm going to tell you this much. As long as you don't get it well done, you're all right with me. You know what I mean? And even well-done people, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. We just got to get you to grow up a little bit. We just got to get you to grow up. You know, I don't want you eating hockey pucks out here. You know what I mean? And also, if you eat your steak well done, I got some people I need you to bite. Just call me after this. I got some ops that I need you to bite one time for me. That's neither here nor there.
Here's another good one. This is important for North Carolinians. We got Bojangles. We got Zaxby's. Hopefully we get a Raising Cane's somewhere down the road. What's the best fast food chicken?
So I'm from New York, and we only got like Popeyes and Chick-fil-A up here.
Okay.
So I got to go to Popeyes, but I did have some Bojangles chicken, and you know what? I had the itis on the plane back too.
That's right.
I love that. I love that, man. That's good ball there. That's good ball. I like this question for Fred. Let's get into this one a little bit in terms of it. I'd like to know how you adjusted to switching quarterbacks, because that is a pretty big deal here in terms of, coming into this year, you're going to be having a new quarterback again. How do you adjust to that and kind of deal with that? Because everybody puts the ball kind of sort of differently. Everybody spins it a little different. How do you adjust to that?
Honestly, I just like to get to know my quarterback. What are his tendencies, where he likes to throw it. Like if he likes to throw a high or low, I'm gonna adjust off of him because he's gonna be a guy throwing me the ball all the time. So can't get him mad. So we gotta adjust.
Absolutely.
So I've done it before with QBs back at UConn, back in high school at Iona Prep, and it's just like throw the ball somewhere. If it's in my radius, I'm gonna catch it.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, you talked about the success that Anai had with tight ends in the past. Man, you look at Aronde Gaston, you look at Jelani Woods, you look at so many players that were so special in his offenses going back. You going forward are the future of what Anai is going to do with flexes and wides. And so super excited to see that. Gracie. Yeah.
Last couple questions here, Justin. We'll get you on your way. Another one here from Dennis Holshoe. He says, I love when they call on the tight end in the red zone. Who gives the hardest hit when you played against the Pack defense? Yeah, did you get hit by Peyton Wilson at all these last 2 years?
I did attempt to block him. He shed me. I didn't go around that one. One good thing I can say is that my freshman year, my first catch was against NC State, and I juked him out and went upfield.
Oh,
for it was only for a yard, but it still happened.
Exactly. But he juked out Buckets winner and All-American Peyton Wilson. He did it. He did that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really good at dodging blocks. We'll have to see once we go into spring ball.
All right.
And last question, Justin, we'll get you on your way. If you could give a message to all NC State fans that are hearing all these portal additions, gearing up for 2024, what would be your message to NC State fans?
Be ready, Pack. We're coming.
We coming.
There we go. Short and sweet.
That'll do it for us here on Monday. Big thanks to tight end Justin Joly joining us on this live show of Locked on Wolfpack. Be sure to hit that like button, drop your comments in the comment box, and as always, smash that subscribe button. Thanks again to Justin Joly for joining us. Justin, we wish you best of luck on your move down to Raleigh. We understand you're a January enrollee, so becoming a native very soon. And we're looking forward to big things here in 2024. Of course.
And if any of you fans have a question for me, my Instagram is j.joly17. So if you shoot me a DM, I'll try to get it to you as fast as I can.
And North Carolinians, I know that y'all are having problems with New York transplants and whatnot, but we love this New York transplant. He's our New York transplant, okay? He's our New York transplant. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. Whatever he got going on, this is our guy, all right?
That'll do it for us here on Monday night. As always, we'll see you all tomorrow, and go Pack.
Go Pack.